Holy shit. Let's drown out a little bit of that gain there. A lot of fuzz. Well, we're back at it, people. I am rocking 3 screens tonight, so giving that a shot. We'll see how it goes. We'll definitely see how it goes. Because honestly, this setup is kind of... it works and it don't work. Because I can definitely get some production done. That said, it is very difficult to get this shit going in a timely manner. As it is, it's taken me about an hour at least to set up tonight. But, you know, we'll cope as long as I feel like doing it. I've got everybody on my platforms. I've got my little tunes going on. I got Jules Winfield here trying to mean mug, as is perfectly in character with this mysterious gentleman who aims to walk the earth. But yes, it is Monday, the first Monday after WrestleMania. And I gotta say, I was disappointed this year because, well, I didn't get a watch. But not just that I didn't get a watch, but that the last couple of years I did get to watch. And that was mostly due to the business being in cahoots with Peacock, and it was friggin' cool. It was like the coolest ruckus ever, because you got to watch the PLEs, the premium live events, and you got to access a gigantic library. And I mean absolutely gigantic library of classic wrestling. Now, we're talking all the old episodes of Raw, all the old episodes of SmackDown. Not just that, but then you had the episodes of WCW. And you also had other wrestling properties that had been acquired, like Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And that was pretty awesome, because you got to watch these really old wrestling programs. And like, you could see a bunch of guys when they were young bucks, just starting out. And we're talking guys like Chris Jericho back in the mid to late 80s, when they were just dipping their toes in the business. Back when it was all still fresh and new, you dig? But I think for Jules Winfield, as you can tell by his look, he's not too pleased with the world of wrestling right now. And I guess the main rub is, I mean, it was a sweet little deal. We got to have the premium live events just for subscribing to Peacock. Got all those just rafts of classic wrestling that were just there within reach. So I mean, I found so many old episodes of stuff that I wanted to see that either I missed at the time or didn't have cable. You know, things that I had genuinely wanted to see. Now, I will say that some of the broadcasts were a little chopped up. And you know, one thing that people would get on me for would be like, because I wanted to see, oh gosh, I can't remember the wrestler's name. But it was Chris. Chris Benoit. And you know, it seemed kind of like they kind of tried to maintain that thing of making sure that Chris Benoit was as stamped out of history as possible. Which, you know, I can understand. At one point you got to protect your brand. On the other hand, it has been fucking a lot of years. People that are not familiar with that really wouldn't even know the mention of his name. Like, he's been effectively erased. Now, I don't think that's the worst thing. But at the same time, like, dude was their champion. Like, flat out, he can't really be erased. Because he had a good go across, you know, big storylines in the promotion. And he took the strap. They put the strap on him. And I remember when I was younger, WCW came to my town on a tour. It was a Monday night. They were actually doing a broadcast in my hometown. And I was out being a douchebag in the weight room earlier that day. And me and a buddy were there working out. And I start seeing these dudes come in who I recognize. And it's fucking Ric Flair. And so Flair comes in and he's just minding his own. And I didn't want to go fucking fanboy and bother him because, you know, I knew what he was in town for. They were doing a broadcast that night. And I'm sure those guys, they all have their fair share of dealing with fans. And some of them probably deal with fans better than others. I can't imagine Ric Flair would deal with fans terribly. But, you know, he seemed like he just wanted to work out, mind his business, you know, get into character for the night. Dean Malenko fucking walks in. And Dean Malenko is like, to me at the time, he looked about 5'7", 5'8". Arn Anderson comes in. And Arn Anderson, he looked like a gym teacher. Like, you know, relatively in good shape, kind of solid, not overly big or anything, you know, definitely athletic. But they're all warming up and, you know, doing various, they're not like pushing real weight. They're just like, it's like they're trying to get warm. Like this is their warm up for the evening of fucking live TV stunts they're gonna pull. And Chris Benoit comes in. And my man is he's like eye to eye with Dean Malenko. He's not very tall. But I tell you what, that motherfucker looked like a steak walking on legs. He was fucking solid. And I know people will be like, oh, he was juicing. You know, the reality is some people they gotta juice to get big. Now see, but the thing about him is people that kind of know what to look for. Because I think that as a pro wrestler, especially back in them times, guys had to have some size. And here was a guy who was clearly undersized for, I mean, in the big guns in WWE, those guys were regularly 250 and above. And here's Benoit, who, you know, I mean, in WCW, he was like a cruiser, maybe like 210. And that's what they built him on as on TV. And they always slap on some weight for the sake of TV. I mean, shit. When CM Punk did real MMA, I think they built him at like 170. So, I mean, and he put on some size when he came back. But still, you know, they embellish. You know, if they're billing you at 6'10", you're like 6'8". 6'7", 6'8". And you look more of a 6'10" when they got your boots on and, you know, there's nobody really standing around. You're walking in on that platform and all that good stuff. But I digress. I really must digress. Oh shit, I forgot to turn on my chat. I don't even know if anybody is up in my DMs. And so excuse me while I whip this out. But bum bum. So, and Benoit, you know, because I've seen guys live. We saw Bill Goldberg, and Bill Goldberg was just this big, strong guy. And if you look at his build, he was all power. Like he wasn't like. Now Rick Steiner was definitely strong, but a lot of his beef at that time, he built that for the sell. Like that was the window dressing. You know, you could tell he was, you know, very evenly strong throughout, but he had a collegiate wrestling background. Like he was a natural athlete, and he definitely had a lot of functional strength. Whereas a guy like Goldberg, he was like all explosive strength, very functional, large fella, and a lot of his muscle was in his trunk. He didn't have these gigantic arms and gigantic legs. So like when he was doing that jackknife move on people, the power bomb, you know, you could see he was getting people up a lot easier than guys that were even bigger than him, because that's where all his power was in his core. Like he was just a train spike. That's how Benoit was built. So he was carrying a lot of muscle, but like you could see, and the funny thing is he was wearing this kind of like, he had a crop top on. He had like a wrestling singlet underneath, like a tank, some kind of thing. But my man was rocking. He was rocking a crop top fucking sweatshirt. Like had the fucking. It was all cut all big around his neck, but he had a huge fucking neck. Shit was like, I don't know. It was like looking at a fucking, like a telephone pole, basically. But he had a ton of strength, like in his midsection, like all of that chain of muscles. He was super strong that way because he did have a really athletic background. And so here was this guy who was, I think when I saw him, he was maybe 200 pounds, and they built him at about 220. But see, he was doing snap suplexes on guys that, were a legit 300 plus, to 350. These much larger guys, and he's just hucking them around. And I looked at his goddamn hands. So Benoit, you could tell if he got a hold of you, you were not gonna get away. Dude, like you saw his hands, he had carnival fucking strength. I mean, they looked like they were burnt in acid, and then somebody decided to do like genetic experiments to make his hands as powerful as possible. Like they could probably write some Greek legends about his grip. Like he could pull 1,000 oxen. Shit like that. But yeah, that's was kind of one of the things that I noticed about that is they were still trying to kind of erase him. And that's not necessarily a good or bad, because what happened when he murdered his family, I mean, that was horrible. I remember that on the news. I remember they found out just before a broadcast, and out Vince McMahon comes and he's like wishing the Benoit family, peace and prayers and all that good stuff. But then they find out that it wasn't just like this super tragic death, that happened. It was, it got worse and worse, where they found out that, this happened over the course of a weekend. Like, dude had a huge mental break, offed his wife, like, kept his autistic boy effectively tied up, then killed him, and then offed himself. And he had conversations with people over the phone while this shit was going on, like playing it off like everything was good, talking like they were going to get back to regular shit on Monday. And Monday came and went. So yeah, horrible shit. But you can't erase what he did, or what they put him up to. Alright. So that those dark, macabre thoughts, I think I'm going to see about blending this in some. I might take a look at a couple of pictures to see about the 6-7 of it all. Not really, fuck that. Screw that. But just getting this drawing in a way so that it's convincingly and has the good light sources. Now, this is a pretty distinct image, but I couldn't find any from this angle where you could see everything about my man. like they just did not have them. So there's virtually none that have his neck visible. Not of this face. And in a little bit we might go ahead and dig into some videos. Matter of fact, I think I kind of wanted to. I mean, we've got some comical shit going on. We've got a president who's having daily meltdowns now. Not understanding why nobody else thinks that the Americans opposed to him are terrorists. They're part of the lunatic left wing. They're a bunch of left wing lunatics. They all want communism. They want communism. Communism and socialism. I can't tell the difference. As far as I know, it's pretty much the same thing. Alright, let's get some blending in here. Once we get this looking a little more like a painting, then we'll see the directions we need to go. Am I right? I think so, yeah. Me too, Mr. Jackson. But I'll be able to add into the shading here after I get some more blending done. But I want to try to do this in as deliberate a manner as possible. I took all this time to carefully arrange where indications could be left, how much shading to put in and what not. Alright. Starting to look like something. Getting it done, people. And whoever says we ain't, they're a damn liar. Sorry if my gum chewing is getting a little bit loud, but I gotta have myself occupied while I'm occupied. Well, here comes doggy check number 1. I felt a little nose on my hip. Who's that? Baba. To say hi. Are you to say hi? Come here. Come on. Come here. Ollie, come on. Come on. No, come here. You're okay. Don't be all afraid. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, come here. Come here. Come here. I'm sorry. I think I ran over his tail. Come here. Alright, now I'm a jerk because I traumatized the baby boy. I done ran over his tail. So I gotta take a minute, calm his little nerves. Huh. Now I'm gonna have to get him some little food trinket. I don't say the other word because it triggers these guys. They start getting all tippy-tappy. Right? Yep. Got to check out his little paws and everything, make sure that he's not hurt. But I'm pretty sure it was just the tail. And we don't want to hurt my little man. I'm so sorry. I ran it over. Ran it over with my computer chair. We're gonna have to set this place up so it's more doggy friendly, huh? So I'm not traumatizing these little punks. And so if they actually want to bug me, they can bug me without it being like putting their lives in danger. So yeah, he's got his big old baby head tucked under my chin now. It hurted. It hurted so much, Papa. Did it? It hurted me. Okay. Time for treat. So no little permanent injuries there. Shoot. Now I'm going to need more gum to chew on because I feel like such a dick for having the nerve to, to make art in a way that makes sense with a setup that makes art, because I didn't take the dog tails into consideration. Yeah, that's going to require a couple more sticks of gum. And it's not tobacco gum. It sure ain't. But what I will say, tobacco-wise, trying to reconnect with some of the lost ways. Been lighting copal. Because for many of the peoples of Mesoamerica, particularly down south, copal is a tree resin. It has a beautiful scent. But that was the food for the gods. And so when you lit it, you're not just offering them, sustenance, but tobacco had to go as well. Because without the tobacco, and this is according to my understanding, if somebody understands it better, they can correct me. Tobacco is opening the avenue of communication. Your voice rises on the smoke. And so I've been doing that. Not really out of any sort of belief, but I do think that being of a colonized people, especially people that have been colonized now multiple times, that if we are aware of some of those other ways that were I wouldn't necessarily say stolen, but more accurately murdered out of us. The Americas has been a place where the eradication of the otherness has been going for a long time. And the tools that have been used for that are tools that kind of seem innocuous to most. But I think when you have the knowledge that those ways were and could potentially still be practiced and were fervently practiced for many hundreds or even, possibly thousands of years, that you should try to piece that back together. because, well, everything kind of does get lost in time. There's lost in time as things become obsolete. And then there's lost in time because things were intentionally erased. And so, erasure of those customs, of those practices, of that knowledge. It's a form of genocide. The Spanish very intentionally burnt the libraries, because there were libraries that the Aztecs had. Now, the Maya, for a long time, hadn't been on the cusp of things by the time the Aztec were in power. But the use of probably something that's much closer to here would be like the Indian boarding schools, where they erased language, they cut hair, they beat children for being themselves the way they were raised to be by their families that they were stolen from. And so sometimes that can leave me cynical, where, people don't flinch about things that went on here in the United States, like child trafficking. Genocide and lynchings and, but you can't really escape what something was built on. And you can't cry about it because you let people know that you know. So people that say, well, if you don't like it here, why don't you go back to your own country? It's like, bitch, this is my own country. I was born here of a people who were very much a part of this joint, trading and warring and doing whatever for a long time. Before the Mayflower decided to come over and mostly die because they didn't know how to survive. And once they were taught how to survive, that's how things kind of went with the old no good deed is unpunished. And so to me it's not anything shocking, just because of that's the way I see it. That's part of the DNA of how this was created. Now, trying to erase it or say that pointing out the obvious, to me that shows a real lack of maturity. Now, if you're so insecure that you can't take a criticism of the United States, which is an honest criticism, even though we live here, I think you got some growing the fuck up to do. And maybe that's just having this art school background that I have, where going through critiques, having people kind of tear apart something you created with criticisms and, you know, pointers and whatever. You're laid bare. And for the most part, you have to welcome their suggestions, because ultimately you're biased when it comes to criticizing your own art. And once you can kind of kill that impulse to vigorously defend your work, you're gonna get better. But that's the sign of, also the sign of a mature artist, is being able to handle criticism. Yeah. How you like them apples? Let's see, there's got to be a good, better picture here. Not so sure, baby doll. Not so sure. Let's go ahead and see. Well, it looks like Tucker Carlson is still talking trash about Donald Trump. Why would you bother now, man? You already fucking called him daddy on stage. Alright, we're looking up some just straight up pictures of Jules Winfield, so I can have a little more reference on that movie scene, because the lighting in that scene was very signature. It was very good, very, very stylish. And so I can see, yeah, I can actually see where we're going now just by looking up one picture, how the lighting should be going. Well, maybe I'm talking out of my ass about this whole colonization palaver. The palaver. But at the same time, if you're that damn shook over some criticisms, yeah, that's some time for somebody to just grab you and slap the shit out of you. And just let you know, hey man, fucking gotta do it Don Corleone style. When he slapped Johnny at the wedding. You can act like a man! And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you gotta watch The Godfather. It's about as high as you can get for like douchebag art. And that's not to really shit on it, because it is to me it's a really good movie. It's not a fantastic movie, but I love watching it. Just because there are so many classic parts of it that I'll watch and kind of have a giggle, or see differently after a few takes. In context with some other more recent goings-ons. But yeah. So the copal was burning after lighting some tobacco. And it smells good. What's more is it smells like it belongs. It smells like something I didn't know I missed. So there's something to it. Let's get a little more. Let's start this with a bang. Crying out loud, we're trying to go at a decent pace here. You got to start pulling out the broad brushes. Alright. Now we're getting places. Now this is magic. This is big time, baby. Spectacular. Alright, this may take a couple of minutes to dry out in a productive way. Business is being conducted, people. Oh, that's nice and squeaky. Tell you what, this pleases me. But that's going to take a couple minutes to dry up. It doesn't take too long because I'm using what I just used on that Q-tip was just rubbing alcohol. But let's go ahead and see what's up with these vids. Because I shouldn't have got them for no reason at all. Alright, well, Brock Lesnar has retired. I don't know how much I believe that. But we shall see. Dining at a struggling family restaurant. Epstein files. AG drops bombshell. Again, another bombshell. I think that's all these guys want to do is drop fucking bombshells. Woman in lingerie abandoned city life to revive her grandmother's old house. Yes, in red lace body stocking. Perfect. Let us see. Trump told somebody to shut the fuck up. That tracks. Bernie Sanders made an emergency address. Is this current? Because one of the things I hate is some of these channels will put something on and say it's live and it's not live. But if it is Bernie right now.
$295 million. The machines used to demolish homes in the West Bank and Gaza and make a Palestinian state physically impossible. Mr. President,
yeah, I think this already happened.
It's long overdue for members of the U.S. Senate to start listening to the American people and not to AIPAC. The time is now.
Oh, Bernie, those are fighting words.
All U.S. military aid to the extremist Netanyahu government, and a yes vote is an important way forward. Mr. President, with that, I would yield to my colleague from Maryland, Senator Chris Van
Hollen. Mr. President, I recognize the senator from Maryland. Mr. President, I rise in support of the two resolutions offered by my colleague, Senator Sanders, that would bar the transfer of certain offensive weapons and equipment to the Netanyahu government.
Damn, bro.
Specifically, these resolutions would block the transfer of 12,000 1,000-pound bombs and 132 armored bulldozers, valued at more than $446 million and funded entirely by American taxpayers. Mr. President, we cannot continue to provide a blank check to the Netanyahu government as it continues to use U.S. weapons in violation of U.S. and international law.
I don't know if we'll be able to hear this over my squeaky
said,
markers.
Israel was justified in its war against Hamas after the horrific attack of October 7, 2023. But the Netanyahu government is not justified in imposing collective punishment on all the people of Gaza. As Senator Merkley and I wrote in our report after traveling to the region in August 2025, and I quote, the Netanyahu government is implementing a plan to ethnically cleanse Gaza of Palestinians. America is complicit. And now, as Senator Sanders indicated, Israeli leaders are saying out loud they plan to apply the same plans in southern Lebanon as they implemented in Gaza. Senator Sanders mentioned threatening what they did in Khan Yunis. As recently as March 31st, Israeli Defense Minister Katz said that, and I quote, all homes in Lebanese villages near the border will be destroyed in accordance with the Rafah and Beit Hanun model in Gaza, unquote. Well, colleagues, I've visited Gaza. I visited the Gaza crossing, the Rafah crossing twice, along with my colleague, Senator Murphy. First in January 2024, when Rafah's population had quadrupled from pre-war levels to more than 1 million people who've been displaced within Gaza, from northern Gaza. And then we traveled to the Rafah crossing in August 2025, after the IDF's offensive against Rafah, one that the Biden administration
Loser
claimed
boomers.
that they tried to stop. And on that visit, Senator Merkley and I climbed a rooftop, and you could look into Rafah, obliterated, reduced to absolute rubble. And as we were told by former IDF soldiers, eyewitnesses who had the courage to speak with us,
Yeah.
Israel has systematically dismantled essential infrastructure.
This is all stuff that
and
I've
wrought
already
near total destruction
seen.
of civilian sites throughout Gaza.
And
including
I mean,
through
it's
the
gaining
use
momentum.
Of these bulldozers.
But nothing good is going to happen until they're rid of, what's his name? Oh, adult film stars get adjusted. I don't know why I'd be interested in that. I did not say save to watch later. Any way to get completely distracted. Drawing Art Academy. Look what I did to her. What does that mean? Landfill upcycle project. Beautiful. Trump's labor secretary has resigned. Oh, that just happened. Shit. Bro, dropping like flies, man. I think she probably already has a job at Fox News. This fellow that killed his 8 kids. Yeah, I don't want to see any of that shit. That's freaking awful. Okay, Coacharella, what do you mean? Resignation plot leaks? Where the hell would you get that information, bro? Rip Stevens? Haley Stevens, what?
Michigan Democrats, I'm standing up here with my friends from Unite Here, who have endorsed my campaign for United States Senate, the working people of Michigan. Look, I'm going to tell you all, I'm a daughter of Michigan. I was the daughter of small business owners. My dad was born right here. Michigan
Damn.
Democrats, I'm standing up here
They got
with
no
my
love
friends
for her.
from Unite Here, who have endorsed my campaign for United States
Yeah,
Senate,
Schumer
the
friggin'
working people of Michigan.
he endorsed her,
Look,
huh?
I'm going to tell you all,
I think
I'm
that's
a daughter of Michigan. I was the daughter
like homeboy here says, kiss of
small
death.
business owners. My dad was born right here in the beautiful city of Detroit.
I like that.
My life's work has been defined by putting up.
They really convinced us that this right here ain't nothing but a weed. But this plant right here, it's been used for over 2,000 years.
The
Ancient
crap bag.
doctors back in the day used to use it for liver problems, poison,
Isn't
and
that
healing the
thistle?
body. And now people just cut it down like it's useless.
You see? You don't
That's
want
thistle.
these big ones because they're a little bit more bitter. But like these small ones like this, that's the ones you want, man. They're a lot more tender and they got a little sweet flavor. It's like a mix of a cucumber and a celery like that.
They call that a thistle, but on the bayou, we call it a chadron.
Cut all them pickles off of that so they don't get you like that. And I seen them
Damn,
spraying
bro, on
something
the
out here,
bayou?
But I think that was just a flavor enhancer. And look at that right there. About to go home, clean that up, put some salt, pepper, vinegar on that.
Holy
Good little
shit.
snack right there, yeah. Now, what y'all know about that?
Bro is
Nobody, but them
bayou
down
as
south
fuck.
kids, you know about that right there. Shoo!
Got us some of them good old chadron at the house, baby.
Got them things back home. I was
Holy
just finish
smokes.
taking off the spiky part. Like that. And then you want to peel back this outer layer. The outer
Bro,
layer
what's
is really
left?
tough. You want to just peel that back like this.
Then you get that tender inside. You got your. What we got? We gave them a nice little wash down. We got them babies all cut up, and we're gonna hit that with a little bit of that spicy Doc does. Added some of that vinegar up in there. Look, and you get your little nature snack right there. My partner, he hooked me up with some already pickled.
Oh shit.
And look at that right there. Oh Murphy, thank you, bro. These things been sitting overnight. And they fire. So if you ain't never had thistle, chadron, don't pass that up next time, baby. Take that. Get that cleaned down, drop that in some vinegar, you got your good old Cajun snack. Sauce bon, baby, y'all taste and see.
Sauce bon.
They really convinced us that this right here.
Bro, that guy will cook fucking anything that you throw at him. He knows a recipe. Obafemi. Destroyed Brock Lesnar. Oh, son of a bitch. Is this an actual trailer, or is it just somebody's fanfic? I gotta see.
The exiled one has fallen. The one who called himself He Who Remains no longer guards the flow of time. Our shadows receive.
Did they actually get Jonathan Majors back? I thought they
Multiverse
just weren't fucking with him no
its
more.
True sovereign.
Whale.
Kill him!
God damn, Doom.
What have you done?
I removed the noise. Where is it?
It's no longer under our control. A throne beyond time.
Give me a name.
Loki. I can help you.
I don't think so.
What the fuck, bro?
We'll meet soon, Loki.
That was pretty rugged. I hope that was real shit.
Now, I don't know about you
Ah,
guys,
come on, man.
but me personally, I love waking up over the weekend and, you know, watching my president have a completely delusional crash out.
All right,
where he
bro,
goes
we'll put
deeper
some
and
music to
deeper
you.
Into an Alzheimer's state of total
I'll rock with
dementia.
secular talk
It's,
for a minute.
It's really comforting when you wake up.
He
and
did
you
his
see
hair
the
today.
President posting 37 times in 1 hour and reposting many things over and over. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Very stable system that we've set up here. A lot of stuff to go through here. Let me start with this one. So we have a Fox News correspondent who reached out and spoke to Trump. And Trump is back on his shit again, which apparently his new favorite thing is to casually float war crimes. That's his favorite thing to do. In a nonchalant way, very blase, he throws out there, like, oh yeah, what if I just committed atrocious, horrific war crimes and did something that would make, you know, fucking...
We have no choice. We have no other choice
Okay,
now.
listen to what he says here.
Good morning. I spoke with President Trump today, who said if the Iranians don't sign the deal, their whole country is going to get blown up. The president went on to tell Fox News, we're preparing to hit them harder than any country has ever been hit before because you cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. The ceasefire between the United States...
They don't have a nuclear...
So, you guys are ready for another 2 weeks, right? You say, oh, we had some really good negotiations. They were really productive. You know, they're going to give us everything we want. But we have to negotiate. We have to be diplomatic. Otherwise, we're going to blow them to kingdom come. We're going to put missiles right up their asses. Jesus Christ. I wonder how much cocaine Junior's up to these days. I'm sure this is not unstressful for his cadre of genetic shitlings.
Weapon! The Grand Ayatollah, who Trump and Netanyahu murdered, issued a fatwa against nuclear weapons. You replaced him with somebody who's harder line and more anti-West. Which, why wouldn't he be? You murdered his whole family.
You
What
think?
is this fucking... Oh my god, it's like... I can't imagine being in the Iranian government and trying to navigate this absolute psychopath. When they're like, we don't have a nuclear weapon. We never wanted a nuclear weapon. We weren't building a nuclear weapon. By the way, now they'd be crazy to not get one, because clearly they need it for a deterrent to make sure Israel and the U.S. don't attack them. But they're looking at this like, is this guy stupid? Are you genuinely dense? Do you have a single-digit IQ? What
I think
are
this
we
pen's about
listening
done.
to here? But again, threatening war crimes.
Get blown up. The president went on to tell Fox News, we're preparing to hit them harder than any country has ever been hit before because you cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. The ceasefire between the United States and Iran is set to end in under 72 hours.
Yeah, that's great. Really, really good stuff. This reminds me of, remember when he said, this alone should have been impeachment worthy. This alone should have gotten him locked up and put in a straitjacket, that he threatened, you know, to an entire civilization will die tonight, is what he said. Like, the fact that anybody sort of let that slide, I mean, shame on fucking all of us in this country for just watching that happen and nobody actually did anything. Okay? And we were fortunate enough in that scenario to dodge it, but eventually this motherfucker will pull the trigger. If you haven't learned that, well then please explain to me why they triple-tapped a little girl's elementary school. Please explain to me why they've hit countless hospitals and schools and the steel plant and the pharmaceutical company and all these different pieces of civilian infrastructure. Yes, they are fucking crazy enough. Absolutely. All right, more. Trump posted a slew of 2020 election denialism tweets. He still can't get over the fact that he lost to Joe Biden. Now, that is absolutely true. What's also true is they're setting the table to try to steal the midterms and the 2028 election. That's why he keeps stressing away on this, or hammering away on this, to let everybody know, like, hey, when we do some shit in a little bit, you know why, because I'm saying Democrats are stealing shit, so I have to come in and try to block it. That's what this is. It's building that case. So he reposted, Michigan cheated, Arizona cheated, Colorado cheated, Nevada cheated, Louisiana cheated, Washington cheated, California cheated. He posted a rigged election in all caps with some bullshit fucking meme, which is nonsense about how the election was rigged. He posted, Senator Mike Lee, in hindsight, if they hadn't stolen the election and POTUS didn't fight back, voting would be the least of our concerns. Fight, fight, fight. He posted, 10 to 20 million fraudulent votes were added to steal the 2020 election from President Trump. They literally shut down voting precincts to cheat on top of already cheating because of Trump's massive lead, exceeding their original prediction to clear the margin of victory.
Such a massive lead.
He's fucking saying that he's posting this. Of course, that is factually dead wrong. There were over 60 court cases on this. They lost virtually every single one of those shits. There was a literal recount in Arizona. They did an election audit in Arizona. And not only did Joe Biden win, he won by more votes than what people thought he won by on election day. So if anything, his votes were undercounted. This is all nonsense. This is all bullshit. And this is why I say we need to beat them not only through the mail-in votes, we need to beat them on the day of votes too, right? Because in most states they count the day of stuff first, then the mail-in votes second. What happened in the past is Republicans would be leading on the day of voting, because more Republicans like to vote on the day of, and Democrats would vote more in the mail-in portion. So it's this thing called the red mirage, where when everybody went to sleep, they thought, oh, Trump was leading and he was probably going to win. And then when everybody woke up, you saw Joe Biden won. They then used that as bullshit evidence of like, see, we were supposed to win. Then you had vote dumps in the middle of the night. No, they're counting the completely legal mail-in ballots, you idiot. And those skewed more Democratic. Because, you know, of COVID at the time, for example, more Democrats wanted to stay home, take safety precautions. Republicans didn't care. They let it rip. They went and voted in person. But for this election, we have to beat them on the day of, too. So go and vote on election day, y'all. Go and vote on election day. He also posted a video from a supporter, okay? In the video, the guy says, quote, "This is what you voted for, so why are you questioning every decision that he makes? God didn't save his life so that he could make mistakes. Fuck up and let him cook." Trump posted this video talking about himself. This is him talking about himself.
God.
Shut the fuck up and let him cook. He's not going to make mistakes. God saved him so that he can make the right decisions. Oh my God, bro. Like, a lot needs to be said about this, man. Nobody really talks about this anymore. But Trump has gotten weirdly more religious as he's gotten older. Now, it might be the case he's just using that, right? Because, you know, he's
not religious.
Power guy. Or maybe as his brain deteriorates, he sort of clings on to these grand narratives of God's plan, and he's at the center of God's plan. It's sort of like a messianic figure. I absolutely could see that. That is definitely on the table. Okay, so Trump does this event, and about no tax on tips. There were so many moments of this where it's like, oh my God. He literally, as I always say, he's always been a low-filter guy. He's become a no-filter guy over time. So here's one of the things he said.
Millions of American small businesses, including restaurants, dry cleaners, corner stores. What is a corner store? I've never heard that term. I know what a corner store is, but I've never heard it described. A corner store. Who the hell wrote that, please? And more.
You've never heard the term corner store?
Yep.
I'm telling you, bro, this is what happens when you have early Alzheimer's.
Affordability.
You have disinhibition. You'll say whatever, you'll do whatever, you don't realize it's completely and utterly inappropriate. What's this term corner store? Who wrote this? I never heard of the term corner store. You've never heard of the term corner store? Oh my word. What are we doing? Oh my God. All right, we're not done yet. So here he's going to talk about, remember the stunt they pulled the other day where they had a DoorDash grandma who showed up at the White House to deliver McDonald's to Trump? And they literally had the grandma say like, oh, thank you for the no tax on tips because my husband has cancer and we can't afford it. First of all, the no tax on tip thing does not apply to a fucking DoorDash worker, so they're just lying about that. Second of all, to say I can't afford my husband's cancer treatment and Trump's the president and he's like, well, here's a tip, sweetie. I'm like, thank you for the Big Mac. Like, what the fuck? No, you're the president, bitch. You should be working on Medicare for all. You should be working on giving everybody health care. I mean, that's like, it should be one of the basic, straightforward things that the president gets to work on. Like, make sure the people in your country can get help when they're sick. But no consideration for that whatsoever. In fact, he kicked 18 million people off of Medicaid as he doubled, tripled, and quadrupled health insurance premiums. Okay? So he talks about this stunt that they pulled with the DoorDash grandma delivering him McDonald's and him giving her a tip. And again, like I say, went from a low-filter guy to a no-filter guy. Look at what he says here.
That no one has ever uttered before. God bless the IRS. Can you believe it? I've never heard that before. We have to patent that. We have to do something. Earlier this week at the White House, I met a wonderful woman named Sharon Simmons, a grandmother driving DoorDash to help support her husband's cancer treatment. She's got serious cancer. She's going to be okay, I think.
So dystopian, by the way. Like, well, there's nothing we can do about that, but here's like fucking $20 for delivering my Big Mac. Jesus Christ.
Delivered McDonald's to the Oval Office. It was a little bit of a, to be honest, it was a little tacky. They come up with these crazy ideas like McDonald's, although that was the biggest ever on Google. They say #1 ever. The garbage truck. I mean, we do these things in politics. They're a little embarrassing. They're a little tiny embarrassing, but we do them and you win by landslides.
Embarrassing.
So we got to keep doing. No, we got to knock on the Oval Office door.
You idiots love this shit, don't you? He did the same thing, giving a speech the other day about UFOs. He realizes like his base is abandoning him at 1,000 miles an hour, and he's like, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna release all these UFO files. This is the stuff you idiots like, don't you? Isn't this exactly what you idiots want to see? I don't understand it. I don't care about it, but you idiots care about it. So will you support me if I do this? Oh my God, bro. Here he is like, that was a little tacky. It was a little cheesy. And then we do this stuff. We do the garbage truck to this to that, and all you idiots eat it up, and that's how you win. Oh my God, bro. This is all the shit you say behind the scenes, dog. You don't say this out front, in front of everybody. What is wrong with you? This is what happens when you have behavioral disinhibition, okay? All right, but we're still not done, because at this event, going through the customary thing that everybody in the Trump regime does, where, it's like...
And they kissing his ass.
That if you're in the cabinet, you gotta be like, oh, and thank you so much, Mr. President. You sure are amazing. You sure are a genius. You sure have a big swinging dick. Never seen a schlong like that, sir. Like, this is what they do to, puff up his ego. And he makes them sit in a circle and go one by one to tell him how amazing.
Kyle Kulinski is a fucking poet for that last probably 5 lines of shit talking. And of course Besson is going to talk about dick. That's kind of fucked up of me to say, but fuck him. Fuck his little bitch ass. He knows how to add. He knows how to subtract. He knows how to multiply. He knew all the shit that makes a good economy before he went in to be professional ass licker here. So fuck him. Fuck every piece of furniture in his house. Fuck his underarm deodorant. Hope he gets some kind of infection in his fucking twat for using it there. But yeah, fuck him.
Amazing he is, and how his farts smell like roses and all that stuff, right? Well, here is Scott Besson going through that time-honored tradition. And take a look at what's happening to our big, beefy, wet boy here. Watch.
And I just want to thank President Trump for championing
He's out.
this program, because
He's out.
Tell you,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Some of the more traditional...
Homie is clonked the fuck out. He's REM sleep there, dog. That's not even like, oh, take a quick nap. Nah, he's dreaming there, homie. Jesus Christ. So now he can't even stay awake for the, the self-suck-off sessions, which is crazy because that's what this dude lives for. Did you guys know that he demands his staffers at the beginning of every day put on his desk every article that's written that has his name on it? He wants everything with his name in it right in front of him. That's what he wants. And of course, the positive stuff. Give me just the positive stuff. So you want to talk about a crash out. So like I told you, 37 posts in an hour on Lie Social. One of those posts was Trump doing a Frank Sinatra video here, posting a Frank Sinatra video where he's performing the song My Way. Now, I can't play it for you because of copyright reasons, but the lyrics are kind of creepy given the current situation that we're in, given what's happening in this country and what he's brought about in this world. So this is one of the parts. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. Regrets I've had a few, but then again too few to mention. I did it my way. The end is near. You look at that and you go, what the fuck is he planning, dog? Oh my God. Oh my word. All right. During the fucking, embarrassing, cheesy photo op thing here with the DoorDash grandma, who, by the way, is nothing but a Republican operative, just so you know. He was talking to the media and he blurted this out because it's another day that ends in Y.
And Cuba's a failing nation, and we're going to do this, and we may stop by Cuba after we're finished with this, but Cuba is a nation that it's been horribly run for many years by Castro.
We may stop by Cuba after this. At this point, I don't even know what to say about this dude anymore, man. Like, theoretically he runs on America First. Theoretically he runs on no new wars, the pro-peace ticket, right? This is what he puts out there. And now what do we have? He's bombed fishing boats from Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago and Colombia. How's that America First? How are you putting America first by doing that? Did regime change in Venezuela? He bombed Yemen and Somalia and Nigeria and Ecuador and Iran. He's threatening Greenland and Panama and Canada and Cuba, who he tried to starve to death, and Mexico. He said he wants to reinvade Afghanistan to take back Bagram Air Base. He's faking peace. He's starting like 8 new wars and faking peace deals at the same time with other countries. Okay? We've never seen anything like this before. And now it's just casually. Maybe we'll stop by Cuba. Maybe we'll commit another 17 war crimes. Maybe we'll kill some innocent people. By the way, rest in peace, Rosa Gonzalez, the grandma who was murdered by Trump when he abducted Maduro illegally. They did that carpet bombing of Caracas quickly, and Rosa Gonzalez died in that, as well as a single mother who was trying to protect her 2 kids. Just absolutely grotesque. And nobody knows Rosa Gonzalez's name. This is the only place you're going to hear it, right? Nobody knows about the people who were fucking starving and the babies who died in hospitals in Venezuela because Trump decided for a long time to embargo the oil going in there. And then it took Russia trying to break the blockade in order to finally get them some oil, and Trump backed down, right? Again, we've never seen anything like this. Casually, maybe we'll stop at Cuba. Maybe we'll also do Mexico. Remember in the middle of the Iran war, there was a story that came out one day. It was The Intercept, I believe, that reported it. We were also doing military shit and acts of war in Ecuador. We blinked and there was war in Ecuador. And it's like, what the fuck is even happening? What is even happening? CNN says President Donald Trump will participate in a public Bible reading this week as the administration continues to integrate religion, particularly Christianity, into official business. Trump to read Bible verse from the Oval Office after feud with the Pope and deleted AI image. Now remember, he posted himself as Jesus. He posted it, and then he goes, I was a doctor, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. If you're still in this cult, that's the most humiliating thing I think I've ever heard in my life. But Trump and J.D. Vance were just yelling at the Pope because the Pope was like, peace is good, war is bad. Like, let's not commit war crimes. The Pope's out there saying stuff like, they're like, how dare you? You better, we need a separation of church and state. And now here they are like, okay, now I'm going to do a reading a Bible verse from the fucking Oval Office. What happened? Separate church and state, or don't separate church and state? No, what they want is, they want to use Christianity for their sadistic, disgusting, evil ends, right? They're fine with religion and politics, as long as it's for their disgusting, sadistic, evil ends.
All right. Well, we'll leave that. I think I probably definitely got a copyright strike there. We're friggin'... I just lost myself in drawing, and Kolinsky rolled. Ice-T, what do only white people say to you, bruh?
The only people I ever hear saying anything about, oh, you play a cop, is white people. White people really have a weird concept of what black people are. Like I said, oh, you lost your street cred. I said, let me give you a new flag. Niggas don't say street cred. Like, that's not a word any nigga ever used. You have street cred? Like, who the fuck made that word? And you're gonna lose your hood pass. Like, nigga, my shit's black. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, listen, my crew are in Pelican's Bay. They're in Arizona. They're stuck. And every one of them is like, nigga, get that money, man. Do not come here, you know? And ain't nobody behind these walls that would not come out of there and play the police on TV for a fucking check. Like, I've never snitched on nobody. Because it's white people. The only people I ever hear saying anything about, oh, you play a cop, is white people. White people really have a weird concept of what black people are. Like I said, oh, you lost your street cred. I said, let me give you a new flag. Niggas don't say street cred. Like, that's not a word any nigga ever used. You have street cred? Like, who the fuck made that word? And you're gonna lose your...
I agree, but how about we lose that shot because it looked like you were sitting on each other's laps? That's not to talk shit, but that's what it looked like. It looked like you guys were in a cradle together and shit.
This is the fastest man alive. Whew. Wow, he's fast.
Oh, I've seen this guy.
About that. That's natural speed.
Oh, he's like a cobra with that big lighter.
Wow.
All right.
Look at him. Look at him.
Oh, this shit's impossible.
so many angles.
What the hell is that? Is that a mascara?
It's kind of loose. Okay.
70%.
Strength. Speed, yeah. He knows the exact percent.
Wow. Dang, I mean, he does seem slightly faster.
Jesus Christ, he's fast. Woo!
He is incredibly fast.
Ooh, wow, wow, hey, hey,
What the hell?
This is the fastest man alive.
All right. Impressive. I debated an Israeli professional debater. Oh, I bet that got pretty ugly. Well, maybe I need to, like, check my goddamn algorithms. I tried the best Mexican food in the world. You ain't been to my house, playa. No, I can't cook like that. Who the fuck am I kidding? I can cook, but not like that. Ooh. I'm gonna get rid of this gum. I'm starting to get friggin' jaw cramps. Age versus techno. Bro, I'm with you. I am 100% with you. Let me find my music so I can shut it off. I'm going to give this guy the stage for a minute. While I'm finishing some Samuel L. details. Did I lose him? Nope, he's right here. Said I'm too old to make techno. Okay, let's go over that title again. They said I'm too old to make techno, so I built a darker, harder sound that refuses to die. This brutal set proves why. I like it. I like it. One day he just, like, left the office, friggin' threw down his last TPS report. He was like, fuck this shit. He ripped it in half like a goddamn phone book. Boss tried to stop him on the way out, and he fucking yanked his tie. Said, step off. Fucking went out and fucking, like, dumped the coffee he walked out with on the boss's car. Said, funk that. And fucking bounced in his Toyota Corolla. Bam! Let's do it, bro. Bring us the fucking jams. Alright, I better bring a bit different Samuel over here. I need some more dimension. Oh, son of a bitch. Dude's doing work. There's no one can deny this. I like it, man. We are here to get down. I don't know, man. I got a feeling about it. It's a brutal set. 12 minutes long. Ah. Yes. You have my stamp of approval. Don't be unsure of it. Fucking launch, dude. Launch into it. Well, I may have to, and I just, and this is not this guy's fault at all, because honestly, he's cooking extremely well. I think if he wore a friggin' neon motorcycle helmet with like glow skull eyes in it, they would probably let him, you know, be a guest DJ somewhere. Until one time he decided to drop E with the crowd, and he's getting all buck out there crowd surfing and all this shit. He loses his helmet and then realizes that there's a bunch of his fucking interns there, and like, Mr. Matthews? Bro, you just left it. Alright. Alright. I'm a fucker, dude. I give you full props. But when I see a compilation from a man Plumes, or Plumes, I don't know which it is, and he's singing to the Yanimals, I always want to see that. It's the camelish family. I know that's not a camel. I can't remember what those guys are called. But they love him. They love his melodious voice.
I was Cleopatra. I was young and an actress. When you
Oh, he's got a
knelt by
fox.
my mattress and asked for my hand. I was sad, rusty, as I laid in a black dress. With my father in a casket, I had no plan. Then I left footprints, the mud stayed on the carpet, and it hardened like my heart did when you left town. But I admitted I would marry you in an instant. I'm your wife, I'd be your mistress, to have you around. I was late for this, late for that, late for love of my life. When I die alone, die, I'll be on time.
There you go. Got them all relaxed like.
When I look into your eyes, I can see your love is strange. But darling, when I hold you, don't you know I feel the same?
Oh. It's a lion.
'Cause nothing lasts forever, and we both know hearts can change. And it's hard to hold a candle in a cold November. I know it's hard to keep an open heart when even friends seem out to harm you. But if you could heal a broken heart, wouldn't time be out to charm you? Oh, I know I'm just a fool who's willing to sit around and wait for you. Baby, can't you see?
Oh, it's the horses.
Else for me to do. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide since you pushed my love aside.
I think I just realized he's singing a song from Greece.
On my head, hopelessly devoted to you. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. I'm hopelessly devoted to you.
There you go, horsey.
Being here without you, it's like I'm waking up to
Meerkats.
only half a blue sky. Got a day
Nice.
around with just one shoe. Half a heart without you, half a man at bed.
He's bewitched them.
Half an apple in my chest. I miss everything we do. Half a heart without you. Half a heart without you. I'm half a heart without you. have loved you since we were 18. Long before we both thought the same fit. To be loved and to be
It's a bear.
loved. All I could do is say that these arms are made for you. Oh, I wanna love like you made me feel when we were 18. We took a chance. God knows we tried. Yet all
Bro, you can smell what you had for lunch. Alright, I think this will be the last one.
and we'll see everything we can. Living love in slow motion. Where you go, you know I'll be there.
Well, maybe one more, goddammit.
If you go far, you know I'll be there. I'll go anywhere, so I'll see you there. Place the name, you know I'll be there. You name the time, you know I'll be there. I'll go anywhere, so I'll see you there. I don't care if you don't mind. I'll be there, not far behind. I will dare keep in mind, be there for you.
Oh,
Look at the
it's the
wall,
Angus cow.
and I notice it's turning. While my guitar gently waves, with every mistake we must surely be learning. Still my guitar gently weeps. I don't know why nobody told you how to unfold your love. And I don't know how someone controlled you. They bought and sold you.
Ah, the seal. Or the sea lion. Sea lion.
I loved your eyes, your supreme joy. How you could make friends with someone you didn't know. I loved your voice, the way you'd speak. And I loved waking up, 'cause it would be the first thing I would hear from down the hall. The mornings just remind me that you're gone. Never got to say goodbye, so this is it. I love you, my dear, till we meet again.
Ah, the lemur. I wasn't quite sure on the little screen.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like yes, it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. comes the sun and I say it's alright.
Oh, this is the next one. I don't want to hear no Meghan Trainor. Sorry, but I just do not. He said I'm too old to make techno. And then I got brutal. Ah. Okay. So I've seen these girls. I follow them. I don't know if they specifically have a Instagram or anything, but Indonesian metal band, Indonesian girl metal band. Let's do it.
In a small Indonesian farming village in the religiously conservative West Java province, an all-female Muslim metal band is pushing back on traditional values.
There you go. Release the beast.
We had when people control us. We are more brave in making music, like more brutal.
Oh yeah.
On our mission to explore the Indonesian heavy metal scene, one of the bands I really wanted to cover is Voice of Bajikot, an all-female trio from the small Indonesian village of Singgajaya. They had come to my attention when they played at Back in Open Air in 2022, where of course they were talk of the town as the first all-female Muslim hijab-wearing heavy metal band. But they weren't just a short-lived sensation. These women had fought hard to get to where they were and had earned their success. We joined them at their intimate 12-year anniversary gig in Garut, Indonesia.
So this is just a simple party to celebrate our 12th anniversary. It's been hard years. Yes. Yeah, it's been a hard years, 12 years, a lot of tears. We have changed so much. One of them is we are more brave in making music, like more brutal, I think.
Yes,
and
brutal.
also in making lyrics, we are no doubt about it. Like we will curse and everything because at first we are afraid people will judge us or will think that we are bad influence, but now we don't care. We did the Europe tour, US tour, and we learned about responsibility and also how to manage the event like this, and also manage band because now we are independent because we had when people control us. We are not really good at compromise, so we think that independent will be a better way, more freedom and better way for us. These 12 years was awesome.
Get it.
Great. I watched that YouTube video where they talked to Tom Morello. So sick. Hello. Yeah.
I'm excited to meet you.
Holy shit. Where the fuck am I?
We are filming
also watching group from Indonesia, and this is School Revolution.
School Revolution or Skull? Oh man, she's just about out of it.
Voice of Bajakrot has become the first Indonesian band to be selected to play at the iconic Glastonbury Music Festival in the UK.
So looking forward to this. This is going to be amazing. Would you please make a big noise and welcome Voice of Bajakrot?
Jesus. Pretty sick breakdowns.
We invite most of our fans. We call them Balad Jeprot. So it means noisy friends. They come from every city in Indonesia, like Jakarta, Bandung, Bekasi, also Jawa Tengah, Jawa Timur. We are happy to welcome them here. Energi terbesar bagi kami adalah
jadi kayak supportnya itu bukan cuma secara emosional tapi secara materi juga mereka totalitas banget.
It's always heartwarming when we saw Balad Jeprot support us in many things, like the material. They help us to build a studio because we are independent and we broke. They help us to make this event. Two group of our bands will perform here. They say that they inspire from us to make music, and of course we are happy about it, so we bring them here.
One of the fans who had been invited to perform was 8-year-old Cheryl, who blew away everyone with her impressive drum skills. Cheryl is such a perfect example of how important it is for young girls to have role models to aspire to. In this case, the powerhouse City, drummer for VOB.
I like playing drum.
Holy shit.
Oh, terinspirasi karena itu keren. Pertama kali aku ditonton langsung sama Obi, tapi langsung di depan si Obi.
I like it, people.
So happy.
Next up were the Arnots, a cover band who had won a school competition performed here at the Voice of Bajakrot anniversary.
First, I feel so nervous banget, pokoknya bener-bener udah tremor banget, gak bisa dideskripsiin. Jujur bener-bener kayak aduh bangga banget, gak expect, pokoknya happy banget deh. Dan malah kan VOB malah jadi pertama kali ya di Jawa gitu rock and metal, dan itu penting banget sih pokoknya buat kita muslim kan biasanya kayak dilarang musik metal lah apalah kayak gitu kan, tapi pas VOB ini keren banget
metal.
bisa. Jakarta dan sekitar 6 hours.
Sitar.
Lumayan sih, macet banget. I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is almost
Of course, the person
too goddamn cool.
City, Marsha and Weedy into music, their school counselor.
I'm like debating on.
The event.
I gotta save this for later because I want to pay full attention to this. the Loud Society and voice of Bassaprat. Yes. Yes, a lot of stuff, baby. But I'm closing in on my 2-hour mark, so I'm going to do some quick critical thinking on Samuel, on Jules Winfield, because I want to be able to make this piece something that, oh shit, here I am breaking stuff. Well, essentially, that looks like something I did. So there are a couple of parts where I might have to go a heck of a lot darker that I'm just being timid about, and other parts where I'm going to have to go stark white compared. So, and I mean, that's all part of working things out in this process. Taking stock is a normal part of making art. You have to stop and assess. Kind of like playing a game and having save points. If that makes sense. I think it makes sense. But yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's a definite triangle shape in there that I don't know if I should quit trying to make it so geometric or actually lean into it, because there's definitely a triangular kind of shape-ish here. But I think when I was doing this shading on this side, I was probably initially exceptionally lazy. Which, that shouldn't happen, ladies and gents. That's just me being a bad monkey. And that's inexcusable in this type of outfit, you know? Trying to run a tight ship here. And the captain is all but playing fuckabout. I don't know what the hell that means, but it sounds appropriate to how I feel like I'm acting with some of this shit. Yes. I said it. I'm playing fuckabout. Got to get to where I'm kind of satisfied with direction, and then I can let it go. Otherwise, I'm gonna be up till 4 in the fucking morning. Yeah, that's getting pretty close to where I want it. Having kind of a ghostly look to some of it. Ethereal, even. go. So it's at this part we're drawing with the ballpoint, and the blender starts to get kind of like sculpting. Because as you can see, there was enough of that blender in here that actually let me just drive ink all the way down through. And that's beautiful because that lets you lighten up colors. Theoretically, you're not supposed to be able to do that. Most people don't think you can do that with ink. You absolutely can. And so I can be satisfied with that, people. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to call it. Because I have to go watch this Indonesian metal band before I go to sleep. Have them sing me an indie lullaby in a language I don't understand at all. And I think that's cool. I am good with it. But, in any case, drop me some comments. Let me know if Jules Winfield is giving you the heebie-jeebies by staring at you. Most likely not yet, because I do got a lot of work to put in on this, even though he's starting to look pretty good. And this is the thing I like about working with these pens. Unfortunately, there's also like some drawbacks. Like all of the pens I have right now, they're pretty beat up. Like I put a lot of miles on them. They're starting to run out of ink. They're not so smooth some days. There's only so much you can do with them because like the real limitations on them are they're a ballpoint pen. They're a big pen. So the performance is going to kind of like, for the first half of the pen, it's going to flow awesome. Like, it's going to be smooth, even color, but then the last half of the pen, you're going to have to kind of lean into it and drag it and coax ink out of it. And so that's where I think we are with like, up here around his hair, that's what we're getting into. And so I think it's time to break out a new pack. That's about $2.50 right there, baby. So, yeah, we're getting into serious money shit. But, Samuel L. Jackson, a la Jules Winfield, I think we're going to leave it there tonight because it's showing promise, showing dimension, showing depth. And that's, you know, what I'm always looking for is indication of that light quality, and that is definitely showing up. It's just going to take work and leaning into it and making sure that I am the proper sort of inquisitive about the progress on it. Anywho, yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. It is 11:59 p.m. on the Pacific time. So yeah, we're going to call it a night. I think anybody who stopped by and took a look, and if you have any questions, suggestions, requests, drop me a message on one of my socials. For the most part, if you're watching me, you're probably on one of them. But yeah, I appreciate everything. Hopefully tomorrow we still have a planet that has not been blown up. And yeah, take care of yourselves and have a good night.